Hi, and welcome to another video of quality assurance. And in this video, we'll be talking about uh, problem-solving techniques. Before we start and go ahead and talk about problem-solving techniques, we need to define what is a problem. Problem is any issue that you see as unusual, and this is could be abnormal, and therefore, when you see something abnormal, what you do, you go ahead and fix it, and you try to return to the normal process. So if we need to define a problem solving, this would be the isolation and analysis of problem and the development of a permanent solution. So we need to analyze. We analyze before we should isolate as an environment, analyze the environment, and then propose a permanent solution that hopefully will help in finishing this issue and removing this issue. Problem solving is a part of problem solving techniques, and it's really important because you need to do the problem solving in order to do the quality improvement process. To solve problem effectively, what you need to do is you need to get trained. You have to have the correct training to apply these problem solving techniques, and then that would help you to solve problems. Utilizing these procedures and techniques strengthens our ability to find permanent solutions to eliminate the problem. So some people, they think, yeah, we could do it, just part of the making sense of a human, that you could find a solution for this issue. But however, if we follow the step-by-step solution, that would help you even to reach to a better solution and eliminate a problem. So what we have to do, we have to uh, follow some logical and systematic method that will give us the right answer. It's like basically the ingredients of making any, if you want to make any food, there by on the back of the food, what you see the instructions for how to cook the food. So you follow step by step, and they give you the exact amount you need in order to fix the best quality of food. However, if you messed up and you did not follow these instructions, you might not have uh, the good quality of food. So the logical and systematic method is important to reach to a high quality result. Problem solving efforts should be objective and focused on finding the root cause of the problem. So what's your goal when you do the problem solving? What you need to do, you need to have a goal, which is this goal should be problem solving, eliminating the problem. We need to look into the root cause of this problem in order to eliminate it from uh, from the existing situation. A proposed solution, when implemented, should prevent a recurrence of the problem. So once you implement the current institution, if you implement it the right way, if you have the right solution, this should result into removing the problem, and in not happening, this problem will not happen again. And the last thing that I want to mention here, which is control. Once you have implemented the solution, you need to control it. You need to keep an eye on the solution to monitor it, to monitor the solution and its effectiveness. We need to see how effective this solution in solving the problem. And if we solve the problem correctly, and this is based on monitoring the process, we could apply it for something else, for a similar situation, and that would be a very helpful techniques, and thus will give you an idea on if you did not meet the goals, you need to create some correction actions. How would you correct your plan, how you could modify the plan in order to reach to the goal that you wanted. In this chapter, what we're going to talk about, there are several problem-solving techniques, and these are the techniques that we're going to discuss here in this chapter. Some of them we're going to focus more in depth, actually, such as the quality control charts. That's going to be on a later chapters. But however, for this chapter, we're going to talk about brainstorming. We're going to talk about the YY diagram, flow chart diagram, force field analysis. We're going to talk about histogram and statistics. We'll be talking about cause and effect diagrams. We'll be talking about uh, uh, Pareto charts, we're going to talk about control charts, we're going to talk about run charts, scatter diagram, and a check sheet. Uh, so in this slide, what you see is we organize these tools based on whether a problem development tool, quantitative tools, control and tracking tools, or appraisal tools. These are the things that we use in problem solving. And what we're going to do once we discuss the concept, we're going to take an example to apply it. So for example, the first tool that we're going to discuss is the check sheet. And the check sheet, what we do is we discuss the concept, the theory behind it, why is it important? And then in order to ensure that you understand the concept, we will be taking an example from discussion to apply it and show you how to implement this check sheet. Before we go ahead and talk about these techniques, what I want to do is we're going to use the problem solving techniques from the Deming cycle, the plan, do, study, and act. And in the plan, do, study, act, what we do in the plan phase, basically we identify the problem. We recognize that there is a problem. And then what we do, we propose some plans. We propose based on the problem, based on the understanding of the problem, we propose some plans. In the do phase, we implement these proposed plans. We see if this proposed plan will help us to solve the problem or not. In the study phase, it's basically monitoring and keep an eye on these proposed plan and see if this is going to work or not. Did we meet the goals? Have we met the goals or not? If we did not meet the goals, what we could do better in order to do it. If not, then if we did meet it, that's perfect. That's done. We're done with the problem. We solved it. And so in the study phase, in the study phase, basically, you look into studying the proposed plan. You study it, you check if this proposed plans worked or not. If yes, then you act, you move on to the next phase, which is act. The act phase, basically, you, uh, you, you act based on whether this plan, the proposed plan, needs an adjustment because did not achieve the goals, or you could say, yeah, it worked, it's perfect, and then we should apply it for other departments. And this is what we call the plan, do, study, act cycle, or what we call the Deming cycle. This is just an overview on the problem solving techniques. But now what we're going to do, we're going to go even into more depth and more details on how we could implement this plan, implement this Deming cycle, starting with the plan. The plan phase, as we said, is studying the current conditions and planning how to approach the problem. So we need to isolate the environment, and we need to analyze all the factors, and we need to have a plan on how to approach the problem. So in this textbook, what they did, they divided the Deming cycle into 10 steps, I believe, and we have to go into each one of these steps to talk about what the activities that should happen. We are on phase one, which is the plan phase. Number one, in the plan phase, what they have to do, if you want to effectively solve the problem, you have to recognize a problem. Management has recognized or identified that there is a problem, and then the specifics of the problem has been clearly defined. So once the, the management said that there is a problem, what they would do, they will um, they will look into the specifics of the problem. In the beginning, as you know, there's nothing clear for the problem. So your 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 role as a manager is to figure out these specific details and define it clearly. Management should be problem-solving teams, give directions. Management should form problem-solving teams, give directions, and provide resources. So also what they have to do, the management, they have to form a problem-solving team. They need to work on a team, say, okay, you are selected to work on this problem, and they have to give the resources and the directions to the team. Team will be given the task of investigating, analyzing, and finding a solution. Um, this is what the task for the team. They have to investigate, analyze, and find a solution for the problem within the specific time frame and within the budget as well. Team may consist of people from engineering, manufacturing, purchasing, sales, and or design departments, perhaps even an outside vendor or representative from the customer bases. So what I'm saying here in this point, though, when management form a team, they have to listen to all the departments. So they would be really nice to have a diversity in the team. We need to hear the perspective from the marketing team. We need to hear the perspective of the finance team. We need to hear the perspective of manufacturing, production, etc. So it's really important to have representative of each of these department in on the team, serving on the team. And what I want to say as well is that the this is one of the quality pioneers called quality circles. Quality circles, it's a term given to a problem-solving team that will investigate any problem and propose a solution. Team members must understand and agree on the goals of the team. They must establish and adhere to the team ground rules for behavior and performance expectations. Uh, so, first of all, there should be a goal for the team. Also, in order to reach to this goal, there should be some ground rules the team that has to stick with it. What is the performance expectation? They should be able uh, to manage and be able to be aware of these expectations. All members must anticipate. Uh, all members should be participate and the responsibility and duties must be fairly distributed. So, based on the strength of the team members, you divide the work and you give them a fairly fairly distributed duties and responsibilities. One important thing in step three in the plan phase, which is developing performance in measure. So once you form a team, you have to use some measurable factors that you could measure the performance. These measures, these measurements in matrices will help you to reach the decision. Where are you now? First of all, what is the issue, and where we're gonna go? What's the future? What's the goal for this? So, for example, you say, I right now we have a high defective defects defects rate. We have a high defects rate of 40%. Okay, this is the baseline for you, and this is an issue. What we need to do, we as a management, we formed a team. We said, okay, we need to solve this issue. So what is the goal? The goal is to reduce the defects by 10% over next month. So the defects is should be reduced. The defects should be reduced and should be uh, that should be the goal. So it should be measurable. So we did talk about something that we could measure it. In this case, you will have a clear idea on what you're gonna do and how you're gonna proceed with with your plans. Valid, valid and reliable measures significantly enhance the decision-making process. So you should have a reliable and a valid measure to use. It must compare what actually happened with what was supposed to have happened. So again, we're comparing the plan versus what actually happened. So basically, defect rates are high, 40%. After working for a month, we did not reach to the goal, which is reducing the defect rate by 10%. So what we need to do here in this case is to figure out where we are and how we could do better, how we could reach to our goal, which is reducing defects by 10%. Metrics are used to track the use of resources against planned use. So these metrics will be used to track the performance, also to track the use of resources. So again, we're talking about uh, understanding where we are now. What do we need in order to reach to the goal? Measures can be can be financial measures, could be customer oriented, could be um, anything related to internal work environment organization. There could be a lot of measures could be used. Here's this slide will show you some examples on measures that we need to use. These are could be the number of repeated customers, service time, number of sales, number of return products. So these are all of these are measurable measures that we could use. So something that you can measure. You can say just I want to improve the quality of my service. Okay, how? Do you know what's your quality of service now? Okay, well, first of all, you need to find out what is the quality of your service. That would be the baseline for you. And then once you understand where you are, you should have a goal, which is the reducing defects by 10%, for example, or reducing the wait time by 3 minutes. So you have to have some measurable uh, factor parameter that you will use to create a plan that will help you to reach to that goal. Step number four in the plan, clearly defined problem. Clear problem definition will help the team focus. So, for example, you could say, I have an issue with delivering pizzas. Okay, now, well, this is a good. So you identify the problem, but you did not provide a clear problem. So what you need to do, you have to be even more specific. You say, I have issue with delivering pizza on Friday night. So that would maybe make it more specific. So we need to create a clear plan that will help you to understand the current situation exactly. Defining the problem involves identifying customers, both internally and externally, who are impacted by the problem or the process. So now when we define a problem, what we look at it, we should consider the customer perspective, and the customer could be internal or external. Internal customer, these are the employees who working for the company, whether by buying their products or they are serving the company through their skills. So we need to ensure what their perspective and how we could improve their satisfaction. This is also a step where process is providing what the customer needs, wants, requires, and expected are identified. So in this step, we need to identify exactly what the customer needs. We have to establish some baseline. We should establish some numbers to better understand where we are and to establish what the customer needs and what the customer wants. Then clear statement of the problem can be written. So once you understand all the situation, you write a clear problem statement. And this problem statement should define the gap between what is and what should be. So in this statement, you make it clear that here we are right now in the current situation, we have 40% of defects rate. Now, and you said we need to reduce the defects rate by 10%. So by next month. So this is a clear, specific problem, and you address the gap. Several techniques that will help you to determine the true nature of their problem. So these tools that we're going to discuss here, we're going to start with a check sheet and Pareto chart. And starting with the check sheet, I'm gonna make it in another video. So I will Um, See you in another video. Thank you.